Monopoly for the Super Nintendo is exactly what it says it is. If you imagine the most likely version of Monopoly for the Super Nintendo, you will imagine 95% of this game. If you aren't sure what I mean by that, I'll say some things here that can apply to every board game port that I've played for the system. The game functions perfectly normally. There are some animations for rolling dice and little extra animations to enhance the fact that you are playing a board game in an incredibly inefficient way. There are some annoying things that limit the fact that you're trying to play a game that has several different physical materials on a single TV screen, especially if you want to do it with multiple people. And that's it. That's the game. The most annoying thing to attempt to figure out is what properties you actually own at any given time, which is kind of a massive problem, to be honest. But other than that, the game translates the rules of Monopoly pretty faithfully and inoffensively. You pick the normal Monopoly game pieces, there's various AI opponents to play against, blah blah blah. I hate Monopoly as a game. It isn't interesting or fun. There's the often cited quote that the person who made Monopoly purposefully made the game unfun, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even gonna look that up. Monopoly isn't a good game, whether it was designed to be annoying or not. There's a bit too much randomness built into the game, and getting yourself set up to make a lot of money is up to the dice and chance cards, much like real life, which I play games to not think about. I'm impressed at how well this works on the Super Nintendo, but you shouldn't play Monopoly, and not just on the SNES. You shouldn't play Monopoly ever. I'm going to spend the rest of this video talking about a few simple board games that I really like that you should play instead of Monopoly, because I know Monopoly is a common pickup board game for a bunch of people. The first one I'd like to talk about is Sushi Go Party, mainly because of its simple set of rules and very easy price point at around $25-ish. You could get the non-party version of Sushi Go for even cheaper than that, but I think Party adds way more and makes the game a much better investment than just buying the cheaper, simple version that doesn't have any adjustability, which Sushi Go Party has. Sushi Go is a drafting game where you select various different kinds of sushi-related game pieces to use to play a game where you're trying to score more points than your opponents. You can teach the concepts in around 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how experienced the people you're playing with are with games in general, and it typically takes 20 minutes or less to play. I highly recommend this game for anyone who likes board games, but is often uninterested in having to teach complicated rules to their friends just to get a session in. Next game I'd like to talk about is Azul, another drafting game, but very different. This game is about scoring points where you're building a pretty tile mosaic, and there's a lot of interesting strategy to this game. Tiles have various colors, and you have to strategically take different amounts of piles based on how they're randomly assorted in order to construct your mosaic more efficiently than everyone else at the table. It is also pretty easy to teach and does not take an incredibly long time to play, but it is a little bit more heavy lifting than Sushi Go is. I want to emphasize how beautiful the game pieces are as well. Even though this game has a bit more overhead, I think it's incredibly rewarding to learn and play, and worth the time investment. Finally, this may be kind of weird, but play some Dungeons & Dragons if you can. My wife and I recently started playing with some friends that I've had for a very long time, and prefacing this with the fact that my wife doesn't play games, of the board variety or otherwise, as she was generally traumatized by our family game night growing up, but she's been really enjoying it. We've had a bit of growing pains with our group, but we've been going for a few weeks now, and it's both awesome and fun when we're able to get together and do it. Although maybe don't start with the Curse of Strahd revamped as your first campaign if you've never played before and don't want the first dungeon to kill off your underpowered characters. The rules are complicated, and there's obviously a lot of overhead. It's a lot of time investment from several people, but it's some of the most fun I've ever had with a group of people, period. And the communal improv and storytelling is incredibly fun if you have the right group of people. Shout out to Gloomhaven, which I don't want to talk about too much because I haven't played the real board game. I've only played the digital Steam version, as the real game is $200 or something and is not really for casual or family play. Kind of how D&D isn't, but I wanted to shout it out. But Gloomhaven is like D&D without anyone having to be a dungeon master, because the cards say exactly what the opponents do, so everyone can hang out and do the D&D thing, but no one has to come up with the story. Anyways, I hope you got something out of this video. Took me a long time to figure out how I wanted to do it, and the newest Magic the Gathering set has a super sweet limited format in addition to work being horrendous. I haven't really been able to find the time to work on videos, especially on this particularly unenjoyable game topic. Hopefully I'll be able to find a bit more time to make stuff more consistently again, and hopefully you'll be there to watch it and talk about it with me. The next game is Robocop 3. Which I know I've played for this series, but it was so long ago I'll have to play it again to get the emotions back for the script writing. The only thing I know is the game was practically unplayable, so please look forward to it. Like, subscribe, all that stuff if you like it, and have a great day.